Senate Republicans are dropping their last-ditch effort to repeal and replace Obamacare. Authors of the health care reform bill say they don't have the votes they'd need by the deadline this weekend. Senator Lindsey Graham, one of those authors, insists Republicans will still eventually fulfill their promise to reform health care. With most still without power in Puerto Rico and supplies of food, fuel, and fresh water running low, the Pentagon is stepping up its relief efforts. Officials say they're going to possibly double the 2,500 active military forces being sent there. President Trump says he'll be visiting Puerto Rico to survey the damage for himself on Tuesday. It's an election result in Alabama's GOP primary that some predict will rock the Republican establishment. Conservative former Judge Roy Moore defeated Luther Strange, the candidate backed by President Trump and other top GOP leaders, including Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. The race is for the seat previously held by Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Moore will face Democrat Doug Jones in a special election on December 12th. On to local election news. 10 of the 12 candidates on the Billings ballot this November took part in a forum at the Alberta Bear Theater to identify ways of improving the city. Billings faces a number of issues, from growth to filling in an aging workforce. Moderated by former Mayor Chuck Tooley, the Chamber of Commerce's candidate forum, in partnership with the Billings Cultural Partners, gave voters a better idea of who they want representing them. Public safety, the One Big Sky Center project, priorities on how to attract people to live and work in Billings were all part of the discussion. As for mayor, both Bill Cole and Jeff Essman made their pitch for why they should be the next mayor.
I think I have a knack for getting things done. I don't think we need to wait for the legislature to act. I don't think we need to pass tax increases. I think we need to be strategic. I think we need to set our priorities, and I think we can move ahead with good planning and good leadership, and I appreciate your support.
I really do believe that this competition for young talent is what is going to drive our community in the future. And if we're going to have a sustainable, long-term, vibrant community that can compete, we really have to go there, and I really believe that. And then lastly, I don't pretend to have all the answers, but I think I am able to lead that conversation in our community and to bring people together to achieve answers.
Candidates Nadja Brown and Frank Ewald did not attend the forum. Q2 will have some election discussion of our own. Join us on the Q2 News Facebook page next Tuesday at 7 p.m. as we host a live discussion with Bill Cole and Jeff Essman. In other news, a major blow to coal exports as the Department of Ecology rejected a permit to build an export terminal in Washington state that would ship Montana and Wyoming coal overseas. Millennium Bulk Terminals look to build the new facility near Longview, Washington, but the department says the project would cause significant and unavoidable harm to the environment. The facility could have exported up to 44 million tons of coal per year from Montana, Wyoming, and other states, increasing American coal exports by 40%. But the project has faced intense scrutiny. Opponents are concerned about coal dust pollution and potential damage to fisheries on the Columbian River. Those concerns were reflected in Tuesday's decision. Washington Department of Ecology Director Maya Bellin stated, quote, "There are simply too many unavoidable and negative environmental effects for the project to move forward." Environmentalists applauded the denial. Officials at Millennium say they plan to appeal the decision. Now we go to Butte, where officials are using new techniques to scare off the birds that land in contaminated water at the Berkeley pit. Those new techniques include fireworks, lasers, a drone that looks like a bird of prey, and a gas-powered remote control plane. Officials with Montana Resources have been improving their hazing strategy ever since tens of thousands of snow geese landed in the pit in November of last year, killing thousands of birds. Over the weekend, about 1,100 birds were scared off. The mining company will be busy this fall because the season is a high migration period for Butte.
It sits in between the Pacific and the Central Flyway, and so we really get sort of a double whammy of migrants, which for birders is fantastic. I mean, again, right here at the Lexington Ponds, you've probably got 8 species right there. But for the Berkeley pit, that's not necessarily a good thing.
Montana Resources did not report any bird deaths from this weekend's hazing. Customers of Montana Dakota Utilities could soon see a higher bill. This comes after MDU filed a request Tuesday morning to increase service rates for natural gas customers in Montana. The company says it is requesting an average increase of about $2.50 a month for residential customers. The current proposed increase is for $2.8 million in annual revenues, or a 4.1% overall increase. That money would go toward infrastructure projects, including pipeline replacement and other projects to enhance system reliability. Montana Dakota serves just over 84,000 natural gas customers in 36 Montana communities. Here in Billings, the Billings Chamber of Commerce took time to celebrate the past, but keep a strong focus on the future. The Chamber held its annual luncheon on Tuesday. The event allows the Chamber to highlight some of its successes while laying out a vision for what's ahead. This year was centered on the idea of growth and the decisions the community must make in the coming months and years that will affect the long-term future of Billings. The Chamber took the chance to highlight programs aimed at engaging young business people, as well as opportunities to bring more people to Billings.
Whether we're talking about green space development and our trails and preserving our heritage, like through the Yellowstone Kelly Interpretive Site, or significant multi-million-dollar projects like the One Big Sky Center, those incremental steps transform our community in a way that puts us on a map in a different way that we haven't. So when a family or young professional is either considering moving into Billings or where they want to spend their career, we're at the top of their radar because we're an exciting community that has a cool factor to it.
The Billings Chamber represents 1,300 businesses who employ 49,000 people. That's a whole lot of people, and they're all right here in Billings.